Well, welcome again to my workshop. Some of the things I've been working on today, finishing up details on this little mandolin. She's kind of sweet. Making a pickguard for it. Still needs an outer layer of, come on, binding. That'll come tomorrow because it is now well past midnight. And let's look around. What else did I do today? Oh, working on the telly there. Worked a bunch at the laser. Made a bunch of toroid. More. And then, starting around 10 o'clock tonight, came over here and I gutted this guy. Yeah. And you know what? It's better than I thought. Yeah, a lot of you will gasp. Sorry, I had to squat down, and I'm no spring chicken. A lot of you will look at that and go, golly, it's a mess. And I looked at the rest and thought, holy crap, it's better than I expected. I was honestly prepared to gut the car and just put in an entire new tub. But really, I don't even have to buy a panel for this. I can rebuild that just from sheet metal. I've got the half for that side, so I may just go ahead and install that. But I can pull a floor out of anything, or even just make them. These veins that you see running through, that's just for strength. That just gives the sheet metal stiffness. So I can pull that in. As I said in the first video, I'm not looking for a show queen. I'm not going for a restoration, quote unquote. I'm not going to put this thing in any shows. And if anybody ever crawls under it and says, hey dude, this guy's got the wrong floor in here, I'm going to kick him in the nuts while he's down there. Because it ain't none of his business. This was a driver, and it's going to be a driver again. Yeah. So some mystery solved. I've been wondering what the hell this cable was for. Turns out that it's for, go back there, I tossed it, was a CD changer with this stereo. Yeah, would have been nice to know when I bought the car, because I used to use CDs. How about these things? I'm finding these turds all over the place. Look at the size of them. Whoever was applying the seam sealer on this thing was falling asleep halfway through every squeeze. Yeah, there's just tons of it peeling everywhere. I had to laugh at that. And I just went through that in my truck that I just, I hate to use the term restored on a 2007, but I did a body job on it. And it was a strange rattle in one of the doors, or at least in passenger rear corner of the truck. Sorry, I'm not moving around much when I'm talking. I spin you around and look at me, but I ain't much to look at. So I pull a door panel off the passenger side doors of the truck. It's an extended cab, not a 4-door. I would never have a 4-door. And all this sound deadening seam sealer kind of crap had fallen off the inside of the door and was rattling around inside the door. So ironically, the very material that GM bothered to spend money on to reduce sound in a truck created the world's worst rattles. Alpine stereo in here was professionally installed, I'm sure. Those aren't signs of professionals, if you ask me. You just take you just loop it under a seat. Take these and just tie wrap them, I guess, loop them up and tie wrap them. instead of cutting them to the right length and putting new connectors on them. That's the kind of stuff that just drives me nuts. I'm a detail guy. No, I'm finding rust in the strangest places. So, oh, I see that goes right through. And that, boys and girls, is why I pulled the back of the seat off. Despite my, yeah, and this seam sealer is just, it's done sticking. Yep, it just, in the words of the great kazoo, it's kaput, dum dum. Look at this. So, I'm going to have to be using a lot of phosphoric acid in here. Rust converter as it is sold. It's plain old phosphoric acid. So I'm going to keep gutting this interior. But overall, this was a win. I was expecting that to be all the way across, going here and in the back. I was literally expecting to maybe having to try to find myself a 80 to 87 Regal Cutlass or anything like that, and then building a car around it, because from underneath this looked awful. Now that is pretty, and it was wet, soaking wet, as was the bottom of the trunk. I haven't found any signs of water infiltration. Sorry, Frenchman speaking at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning after a long day. Up here, we reach the dew point nearly every night. And this being a black car, parked in the sun, I think what's been happening, I think, my theory, I do have an engineering degree in thermodynamics, so methinks I know a little bit. I think we reach a dew point every night. And during the day, things get hot and steamy. Windows are rolled up tight. Trunks closed up tight. All the seals are holding, despite most of the rubber is looking bad, but I didn't see any signs of any water being able to get through. So things in here, where the jute packing, that's the insulation underneath the carpets, just gets totally soaked. Never heard the term jute packing? It's that crap. This stuff. This is the driver's side floor here. Yeah, there's all that sheet metal. So that's jute. I think that's what it's called. My kingdom for a new set of knees. Trunks, okay. Actually, really good in the corners. I'll give that a shot of rust converter / phosphoric acid. And then oiled the crap out of it. The car was oiled. I oiled it. I had it oiled. First year I got it, 99. And it's been undercoated. It's had some kind of undercoating. I don't trust undercoating because it does exactly what we see here. Focus. See what it does? Bridges a cap. And then, oh, we got lucky. It didn't hold moisture behind it. What you can see here. See, what happens is, that's basically like a thick rubberized paint. And if moisture gets behind it, if there's any break in it anywhere, then it works against you because it holds the moisture in. So this guy's got a bit more, but this is my first good look at it, actually. I've just been fishing around there. Doesn't go through, so again, I'm going to hit it with a rust converter and oil the bejesus out of it. This is the spare tire well. It unfortunately did not fare as well, being the low spot. Here, let's just put our finger through. Yeah. Doop. There we go. That's the drain hole for moisture, but I was pulling huge flakes out of this earlier today. And up here, focus. Come on, you can do it. Okay, don't. Take your time. Can't force you. Oh. That's actually kind of minor. I was honestly prepared for much worse than that. So, from there to the interior, and rocker on this side, rock solid, good. It's not an Arizona car. People that are used to working on Arizona and California cars are looking at this going, well, make a drag racer out of it or send it to the scrapyard. It's a parts car. And I'm thinking, hell, for Northern Ontario, this thing's mint. Car was originally received by the dealer in January 1987. So it was probably built in late 86. I mean, it was. I got the date here somewhere, sorry. I tripped and I had a hiccup at the same time. I believe early 87 is when it was received. And door seems solid. Closes solid. And so I'm pretty sure they didn't just stick this in a showroom and nobody tried it. So they absolutely drove it in salt and snow and slush. And then it was sold to a man in Timmins in January of 1987. So even if he garaged it from that day forward, it still drove from Matheson to, so about an hour's drive. In January of 1987. So for sure it's been driven in snow and salt. And then there's a time in 2001 when my van broke down and I had no choice but to hop in this thing and drive down to the Central Canada Bluegrass Awards down in Huntsville. It was beautiful out. Dry highways. Flying down the highway. I don't know if I can catch this, but on the way down, I slammed into a partridge, rough grouse to be exact, and ended up with like $1,300 of damage. This is 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago. And there's still a little bit of the... I moved the car right up against the wall here, so that's why I'm having trouble getting around her. Where's the... I think this bezel is broken somewhere. Anyways, I ended up blowing the grill out. Huge hole. Big hole here. And I guess I did get the bezel. I thought I hadn't fixed that, but I did. Cool. Good for me. Another win. And took out the air conditioning condenser and a whole bunch of stuff. One bird. I wasn't exactly doing 55 miles an hour, if you know what I mean. So, but I met a guy while at the Bluegrass Awards who worked at a GM dealership, and he got me a new grill, brand spanking new old stock grill. It was when I was telling him the story while I was down there, and he went, "Oh wait, I think we have parts for that thing, and I believe we have a grill somewhere that's just sitting around. It's new old stock. We're not going to use that." And sure enough, he sent it to me. Ran me a few $100, but or a couple $100 maybe. No, I think it was 300 something. Anyways, a total win, because even in 2001, you couldn't just readily get body parts, especially factory stuff. So that was cool. That's a long story to talk about nothing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm excited, if you can't tell. this, oh, I love this floor. I love a house that talks to you. My workshop talks to me. So anyway, while that might look horrendous to some people, I was expecting something so much worse. Hell, I wasn't even expecting the seats to come out without a fight, taking a torch to them, and all the bolts came out. They were a bitch to come out. I mean, they weren't fun, but how to length the pipe? Where's my pipe? Here's my pipe. Here's my persuader. Stick that on the end of a ratchet. She'll come out or break. Anyway, Mario here saying good night all, and hope you enjoyed spending time in my workshop. Good night. Salut.